Good evening, my name's Alex Campbell.
And I'm Mark Palmer.
And you're watching Dissecting Trek. So yeah, this episode has the first appearance of the Ferengi.
Yeah, they really made him out to be a greater threat than they end up being.
Yeah, they hype it up and then the reveal is a bit anticlimactic.
But that's because they think that energy is coming from them, but it's not. Their weapons could do fuck all against the Enterprise, really.
Because the planet and the crazy wizard guy, we'll get into that. But so Gene Roddenberry had a rule that he didn't want the Klingons or the Romulans to be a big enemy in Next Gen at the beginning, because that was like an original series enemies. He wanted to move on and do a new thing. Obviously, the Romulans came into it later on, and the Klingons.
That's the Klingons, they weren't enemies though. So it was. Yeah,
he changed them to
ally.
Yeah, and then he just didn't really want the Romulans to play a big part. And the Ferengi was.
Massive part.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, so the Ferengi was meant to be like one of the main antagonists. That's how they were set up, but it just didn't fucking work at all.
I realised how shit they were.
Yeah, they're not threatening. There's no like stakes or tension. They're more of a nuisance, annoying, silly.
It almost seems like during the episode they decided they didn't want them to be the main antagonist, because Data starts going on about how they're traders, merchants, and blah 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 blah. That's not much of an enemy right there.
No, it's not. The Borg eventually take their place as the main antagonist of Next Generation, and
for Voyager.
Yeah, that's true. And that's like a high stakes enemy. These guys are just like annoying capitalist type.
Dog.
Yeah, greedy bureaucrats types. But that was their original plan, and it didn't work. When they go down the planet, all their little movements and stuff, it's so.
The guns? What the hell are those?
Oh, the whips that are like lightsabers, but they shoot lasers. It's like, why not have a phaser?
They just never make an appearance again.
No, that's the whips' one and only appearance as far as I know, and that's because it didn't really work.
Because it's a fucking stupid idea.
Yeah. So I think the first half of this episode is really effective, with like the mystery surrounding the Ferengi and the chase. And then the reveal that the Ferengi hasn't disabled the Enterprise, that it's something else. That was a nice little twist.
I like the fact that, unlike modern Star Trek or anything, basically, it wasn't like, all right, let's start firing, they're doing this. It's like, hold on, hold your fire, doing everything you can to avoid the conflict.
Yeah.
That's why I watch Star Trek.
Yeah, it's not Star Wars, it's about tacticians and theory and intellect.
And not so much, they didn't know what the Ferengi looked like. So it was like this thing where we need to make it, not so much a good impression, but we don't want to start a war with a race which we're not familiar with.
Yeah, they actually, like, the Enterprise becomes disabled and becomes like, okay, to the ready room. And they walk off to the ready room and start discussing the scenario and the situation and how they're going to come at it from all these different angles.
Fire!
Yeah, it wasn't Luke blowing up the Death Star in his X-Wing. Completely different tone. And I really thought the first reveal of Ferengi was rather effective. When he comes up on the view screen in the Enterprise, Picard's talking to him, it's like an extreme close-up of his face. The background is like completely white.
And he's kind of moving around on the thing, like the camera's trying to...
Yeah.
Yes. The ugliness of the Uman was not an exaggeration. Your barbarous Federation placed it on one of our planets.
It looks like a camera panning, because it's a camera panning, which doesn't really make sense.
No, but it was like the first view... Oh, like they had view screen from the original series.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck was going on there. What's the white background? There's no way the ships look like that.
No, that's not the interior of a ship. I heard an explanation that was like... the show explanation is like their eyes are really sensitive to light. Now that would mean it'd have to be darker, wouldn't it?
Either way, if that was what they originally thought up, that doesn't like transfer over to the later series.
No, they go onto their ships and it's not all bright white. There's that horrible.
Not to mention Quark and all that live on Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
The thing about that too is one of those Ferengi that are in the boarding party is the guy who plays Quark.
Yeah, old mate.
Yeah, or Aiden or Al, something with an A.
I wrote his name down. I can either ding it here or I can look at my notes.
Dang it, yeah.
Ding! Yeah, so he performs as one of the Quarks. And he said he was actually really disappointed with his performance, and later on he tried to remedy it with Quark.
He did a good job.
The woman wearing clothes.
More relatable. Yeah, I mean that woman wearing clothes thing never drops.
True.
Even in Deep Space Nine, there. Yeah. Even when they get out and see the mother, like, you're wearing clothes.
Yeah.
Disgusted.
That's pretty funny.
They shamelessly clothe their females, inviting others to unclothe them, the very depth of perversion.
Even in his early days, first appearance of the Ferengi, this episode's like 30 years old, and the prosthetics and makeup look really good.
And they look like, especially the Ferengi, yeah, they look exactly the same as they do later. They felt no need to change the way they were done at all.
Yeah, it's not like the Klingons.
Just the outfits changed, but
yeah, they were kind of wearing shitty.
They were like
pajamas
shitty
with
Klingon
rags.
pajamas.
Yeah.
You work with your females, arm them.
But as far as the head prosthetics go, it looked seamless.
The
It's really
fingers are a
good.
bit weird.
I didn't
That
notice
one
the
scene
fingers.
where they're going to grab the
Oh.
badge that were like really long and kind of bulky
Yeah.
with the tips.
I remember that scene going on for ages, just like reaching for the badge for like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And the credits roll. That's the episode. They were so offended that they were using gold as like an electronic, because
They don't really care. Well, it's weird. Like at this point, it's like gold, and later it's just platinum they care about.
yeah,
Because gold would, you'd think, wouldn't necessarily be on other planets.
yeah, it could be a specific thing.
Apparently not.
Might not be. There was another little technical show thing which you give a free pass because, you know, if they're in budget and stuff. But while they're down on the planet and doing the planet thing, all the life support systems in the ship are shutting down and everyone's dying, all the kids are dying and stuff. Or Crusher says something about putting Wesley down or giving him a sedative or something.
I didn't notice that part.
Yeah, and then Picard's like, let him die like a man.
What?
You didn't see that one?
Oh, Jennifer was probably showing me
Yeah.
something.
Dad life. Hashtag dad life. Yeah, so Beverly's like, well, I felt like giving Wesley a sedative. And Crusher and Picard's like, no, let him die like the rest of us, like a man. And then there's like a little like sexist joke or something which Picard just flicks off, which I'll put in now, which is hilarious. She's like, that's just man logic. And he's just like, man.
Where's Wesley?
He's in our quarters. I was tempted to give him a sedative.
You shouldn't.
I know, but he's my son. I love him.
He has the right to meet death awake.
Is that a male perspective?
Rubbish.
This is man logic. So yeah, all this is happening. And the anti-gravity within the ship is still functioning. I understand why, because I didn't have the budget to have them all floating up in the air, 30 years old, you know, not a massive feature film. But from a show perspective, you know, the anti-gravity machines would be using up a lot of power, and they could have substituted that for some air.
You'd think so. Like, I'd rather be floating and not dead than...
Yeah,
floating.
then I'm putting my son down like a dog.
Let him die like a man.
I forget what she says, it's fucking hilarious, and he's just like, nah!
Nah, in fact...
Shoots him,
Vaporize it.
and the ship comes back under power.
Oh, the solution was to kill Wesley. If only I'd known that sooner.
Another grievance I have is all the Chinese finger trap things. There's a scene where Data is trying to explain the ancient...
You said I'm in that scene as well, not I am.
Ooh.
I even rewound it and watched it a second time because I didn't believe it.
Continuity issues.
I just said after the 4th episode, maybe they hadn't decided that he doesn't say that stuff.
Oh,
I'm
shit.
trying to, he says. I'm like,
Ooh.
Stuck.
Then get unstuck and continue with the briefing.
Yes, sir. That is what I'm trying to do, sir. That is what I'm trying to do, sir.
In a Trekkie, he was like,
pretty much. I'm like, wow, I'm a nerdy as fuck.
I mean, is it good? Would you rather be a fucking jock playing football?
You sit there watching footy.
Yeah, the Broncos!
Fucking fights.
Really?
Boys intellectually discussing how Data says I'm instead of I am.
In a 30-year-old sci-fi series.
I definitely prefer that one.
Definitely. So, yeah, he's explaining something. And the first problem with Data getting stuck in a finger trap is he's strong.
You can just tear it.
Yeah, he lifts up a quark later on easily. The quark? The quark?
Ferengi.
A Ferengi later on.
I got this one!
Commander, they are much stronger than
And the second problem is that he's highly, highly, highly intelligent. And he gets stuck in a
And
child's
he's got like
game.
all this human knowledge like embedded in. Surely it's come across a finger trap at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, and it just keeps on
Yeah,
going.
it's just
and
a
going.
poor stretch for humor.
Data, what are you doing?
Apologies, Captain. I seem to have reached an odd functional impasse. I am, solution eludes me.
My hero.
There's also a scene at the end
Yeah.
where Riker beams them onto the Ferengi ship and Picard's like, yeah.
He's like, make it so.
Yeah, it's like the end of The Trouble with Tribbles. Scotty beams all the Tribbles onto the Klingon ship and Kirk's like, yeah, no worries, mate.
Scott, you didn't transport them into space, did you?
Captain Kirk, that'd be inhuman.
Well, where are they?
I gave them a very good home, sir.
Where?
I gave them to the Klingons, sir.
Gave them to the Klingons.
Aye, sir. Before they went into warp, I transported the whole kit and caboodle into the air engine room, where there'll be no trouble at all.
Those Tribbles would have made a horrible death on that Klingon ship, I reckon. They would have just murdered them all.
Yeah. Stopped
And eaten them.
Yeah.
Basically an everlasting supply of food.
That's true. They probably taste horrible though.
I don't think Klingons would really care.
No, well, that's the thing. They eat horrible, disgusting food.
Yeah.
There you go. Scotty did him a favour. So yeah, it's kind of replicating that joke, but just tonally, the finger trap. It's like an analogy for the two ships being stuck, but it just didn't.
It just wasn't good enough.
No, it didn't fit tonally. And the joke at the end, I was like,
I was just waiting for Card to go, that's fucking stupid, Riker.
what the fuck? You're a Starfleet officer, mate, and you're transporting finger traps under their ship.
Grow up.
We've just come in contact with them. We should be diplomatic and intelligent and mature. But he's not. He's like, hey, make it so.
Permission to beam a box of Data's Chinese finger puzzles over to the Ferengi. A thank you for all they tried to do.
Make it so.
So as I said, I think the first half of this episode is really effective. And then they go down to the planet. Felt very original series to me, the sets and stuff, which isn't a negative because there are some great original series episodes. But the conclusion just felt really rushed.
It felt like there was no real, like, he kind of just all of a sudden, I know some zoo.
Yeah, so let's explain what happened, and this is a bit weird and baffling.
Knowledge.
An old wizard guy comes out from a race which is like fallen.
600,000 years since extinction.
Yeah, he's not aware of any of that. He's used his magical powers to freeze both of the ships. And then basically he says to Riker something along the lines of, do you know when to fire, when not to fire? And Riker's like, whatever, man. And he swings his sword around and it's sped up because, I don't know.
Make him look quicker, I guess.
Yeah, but it looks like it's been sped up.
You are being tested, Riker. What is the answer?
How do you know my name?
And then like he goes to hit him, and Riker calls the bluff and quotes Sun Tzu to some degree, and he's like, "Okay, you're all free to go."
And they're just old mates.
Yeah, and that's how this all concludes.
He was gonna just kill the Ferengi.
Yeah, and Riker's like, "Nah, we'll teach him a lesson with the fucking finger traps."
He was planning since on the planet.
He was, man. So, if this episode was put in place to set up the Ferengi, then you need them as the main villain. You can't just have them be the antagonist, then halfway through it be like, an old wizard has come out of a cave, he's the villain. And then it felt like the writer got like 3/4 of the way through the script and then he realized, oh fuck, I need to wrap this up in like 6 pages.
Yeah.
A wizard comes out.
A wizard did it. That is like the oldest fucking reasoning in the book. Couldn't it have just been like some special anomaly or something, like a gravitational pull or something weird with that?
Yeah, it could have been like geographical or some space thing. So that's why it felt like TOS for me, because of the wizard.
Yeah, it sounds like 60s writing.
Yeah, and just Riker called his bluff. He knew he wasn't gonna, fucking drive that axe into his fucking head and kill him.
Like, you have no fucking idea who this gun is.
Yeah, Riker was so on board, man. He just knew that he wasn't gonna get.
It's like he can't sense it. He's not like Goku or someone when Trunks goes to swing the sword or whatever.
No.
He can like sense his heart wasn't in it or whatever. But
yeah,
Riker's just like, I bet he won't do it. And then Worf's just like, oh, Worf could have taken him.
They were just like, they just allowed that to happen. Yeah. Yar and Worf were like,
Yar! I love the way they're just like, every moment they go, fire on them! Fire on them!
Yeah, we did talk about Starfleet being tacticians and using their brain and stuff, but Worf and Tasha Yar...
Both of which are security officers.
Yeah, and Worf's a Klingon. At every point they're like, we should destroy them,
Okay, Worf never drops that logic though.
No.
That's built into his genes.
Yeah. He's a Klingon.
That's for Yar! Yar! I don't know. One thing I do like about the Next Generation is when they do bring the Ferengi back, they do kind of bring them into being more of a threat. Like this episode kind of made them seem like they were just these ignorant little creatures, little ghoulish things. But like later on with the Picard maneuver and stuff like that, that's a really good episode where the Ferengi cunning actually comes into practice. Yeah,
they use them properly in that because they have his original ship and they like con him and trick him into it, and then it's like a backdoor like. What do they do again? They
basically fuck with.
They frame it.
Yeah, no. They fuck with his head. He ends up going onto that ship and tries to use the Picard maneuver on the Enterprise.
Yeah. There's something in his room, like an orb or something.
Yeah, that they give to him as a gift.
Yeah.
See, that's showing it's a different sort of enemy.
Yeah, the Klingons are going to come at you and fire you down. The Ferengi are going to be manipulative.
They could have done that in this episode instead of having a weak wizard guy.
Yeah, well, they they didn't really know how to use the Ferengi, and if they were trying to set up a main antagonist for the Next Gen crew, this wasn't the proper enemy at all.
No, they did nail that with the Borg, especially with the
Oh, yeah. The Borg was the Next Gen antagonist, and they functioned perfectly. They were frightening, they were high stakes.
And Q had a big part of it, of course.
Yeah. So yeah, the Ferengi, they moved into their part in the narrative later on, Deep Space Nine and that, or even the rest.
They're a really big part of Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, I've only seen like half of season 1. I need to get on with that.
Yeah, no, they even got the Grand Angus and all that. Nagus, not Angus, not Angus.
So it's the Grand Angus. That's a McDonald's burger.
Feast your eyes on Macca's new Grand Angus, a big juicy slab of genuine Aussie Angus. Not just one slice of cheese, 2 slices. There's loads of that fancy salad. The onion is the purple one. It's Spanish. And if you don't mind, mustard and mayo, all on a snazzy-looking sourdough roll.
They have the Grand Angus?
The Grand Nagus.
Product placement.
Yeah, like the head of them, and they have all their rules of acquisition and all this different shit, which is, you really learn more about their species.
Yeah, that's interesting. I know they do function later on, but they didn't know.
And Quark really loves to show off his hollow suites.
I don't know what that means yet.
Very sexual. They're straight up whorehouses with hollow.
Yeah, well,
which they don't generally show in like Voyager or Next Gen, but here's a straight up like pleasure rooms.
When you think of the holodeck, the first thing people would use it for is sexual.
I always thought it was fun that it's never brought up because, you know, Starfleet's so pure. Like,
yeah.
The Ferengis just like, fuck
this. I thought it'd be down there every hour fucking the guts out of some holo bitch.
Yeah, I fucking know, you make whatever you want.
Yeah.
There was even one episode where Quark, like, someone had this major crush on one of the characters, one of the female characters, so Quark had to sneakily steal her, like image, so that he put it into a holodeck program because the guy was paying a lot of to do it. Of course, Odo.
She finds out.
Odo finds out. Odo actually has a crush on this chick.
Yeah, true.
So
Mr. Burn Victim.
Yeah, Mr. Burn Victim.
Yeah.
And, melted Burn Victim. Yeah. And yeah, he ends up stalking him, of course.
Yeah.
But still, it was cool.
Definitely watch.
The first season's terrible, but it gets good.
That's like all Star Trek, you know. Even Next Gen stumbles for the first 2 seasons.
I'm enjoying it more this time.
It's still good, but it really found its feet in season 3, and then it's fucking. It knows what it's doing every episode.
I think Deep Space Nine's season 4.
Yeah. So maybe Discovery will get good, man. It won't. Yeah, so in conclusion, I really liked the first part of this episode. I thought it was well executed. I liked the mystery around the Ferengi. I liked all the extreme close-ups and the view screen, which didn't make sense, but stylistically, I enjoyed it. I liked the little twist where I was like, oh, it wasn't the Ferengi that disabled our ships. And then the second half of this episode kind of felt a bit rushed for me and a bit silly. And the wizard didn't make sense to me.
I really liked the way it wasn't just a stereotypical ship battle, and that they were actually as if you would be in an actual thing of something you're not aware. Like you're not familiar with these weaponry, so why the fuck would you just fire on them and start all that war? Yeah, I really enjoyed that compared to what we're used to these days.
Yeah, I don't at all think this is a bad episode.
No,
I enjoyed watching it. It was a good episode. It's definitely not an amazing episode. But it wasn't horrible.
No, it was good. I'll watch it again.
I am definitely going to watch it again before I die, unless I die soon.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, we could die at any moment. Thank you for watching. You could all die at any moment. So you should please like, subscribe, and in the comments, tell us about how you would like to die at any moment. Or how you would like to die at any moment. If you could pick how you'd like to die...
pick like how.
Write it in the comments. Please. Thank you.